Ooh,
Hi,
live.
everyone. We are live. Hi, it's Tanya Peluso, and I'm tuning in from San Diego, and I have an amazing, extraordinary guest with me today, coming all the way from Pisac, Peru, Mr. Javier. And Javier
Hi,
can say
hi.
hi for a minute. There he is. So we've got a little bit of delay today, so if you're tuning in, just bear with us because of the bandwidth down there in Peru isn't the strongest, but we're just so thrilled to have Javier here to talk today about the power of plant medicine. And so to give you a little bit of background, and then I'm going to have him just tell you his story because I always like people to introduce themselves. But Javier, I was introduced to by a very successful entrepreneur up in the Bay Area and said, this is the guy who you need to go work with down in Peru if you want to experience the plant medicines. And so had the opportunity of going and working with Javier back in January. And I brought a group of women down to the retreat center right next to his house, and we got to experience 2 different plant medicines with him. And he holds just the most magical container. He's an incredible emerging spiritual leader. We were just talking about before the call that he's coming out more with his spiritual beliefs. So I'm excited for him to be uncensored on today's Google Hangout. And yeah, I want to have Javier just tell you a little bit about how he's gotten to where he is today. And he has a great story to tell. So welcome, Javier. Thanks for coming out and being live with me today. And why don't you share with us how you've stepped into your role of facilitating the plant medicine down there in Peru.
Hi, everybody. Um, so and I think everybody will resonate with my journey. I used to be a massage therapist for a short while. I was doing rebirthing. I was facilitating a transformational workshop, and so every time that I found something that was valuable for myself, then I would get the wish to share that modality and the gifts that modality had brought to me with others. And basically, it was always, a search for what is the most effective tool for transformation, for healing, for expansion, because that's the journey I've been on all my life. So I did drink ayahuasca a couple of times in the States in the 90s, and then in 2004 I came to Peru with a group to go to the jungle for 2 weeks to drink ayahuasca and be on a diet, a so-called shamanic diet. And it was a wonderful experience, one that I needed badly. and and then after the jungle, I came straight here to Pisac for a week, stayed at Pasilus, where you also stayed, before going on a 5-day trek to Machu Picchu on the Inca Trail. And on the last day of the trek, as we were nearing Machu Picchu, I got this idea of studying plant medicine. And I was like, Javier, are you aware that this is not nearly as glamorous as you think? And so, I thought about it. And then finally, I came back to Peru the following year to see if that hunch was something serious or just a passing thought. So this time I went to Iquitos for 2 months, and I totally forgotten why I was there. mainly to see if I really wanted to get into this, because I was just busy surviving the ceremonies. I hadn't drank much ayahuasca until then, so it was still, a tantalizing process. And without even thinking about it, one night during a ceremony, spontaneously, I was in such awe of this medicine that I started speaking to it, which is not an uncommon thing. People speak to ayahuasca, and somehow ayahuasca speaks in our perfect language that we can understand most of the time. And I said, "You're great. I want to work for you." So basically, I was not struck by lightning. I do not come from a long lineage of healers or ayahuasqueros. It was really a desire to work for this medicine, um, and with everybody who feels called to engage with these plant medicines at this time. So here it's an interesting thing. So this has become very, very clear to me in the last couple of months. I was just in the jungle for 3 weeks with my teacher, and seeing how my desire to work for these medicines, the scope of that, and basically comes down to this. One of the main reasons, perhaps the best reason, why I love to work with plant medicine and love to work with people with plant medicine, is that even though I support people in their process quite a lot as best as I can, it's very clear that it's, for me, the process is between the person and the plants, that people have to do their own work. Somebody can be there to support them, to create a space where that process can happen safely and in a supporting way, but the person needs to engage. Unfortunately, there are no magic pills that I've found yet around. But the main reason I like this process is that plants are not interested in selling us another set of beliefs, another dogma, another religion. Because, this is the conclusion that I've come to, because they know that deep within every living creature, every aspect of creation, we all hold the same truths. So they don't have to sell it to us. What they do is they help us cleanse, let go of constructs, beliefs, wounds, what have you, so that we can connect with our deepest essence. And in our deepest essence, we all hold the same truth. And I think that is just so beautiful. And the truth that plants hold is a truth of beauty, of life that is in constant, joyful, erotic on this planet, unfolding. And my feeling is that what we know of as plant teachers, as master plants, you know, such as ayahuasca, San Pedro, peyote, iboga, whatever. They're really spokes plants for the entire green realm. And they're the ambassadors of this realm of plants, which is really the most important realm on this planet because they sustain life for all of us. And they speak through these master plans to us. And what they're doing is they're helping us remember how to live on this planet, as opposed to feeling separate and scared by it. Voila.
Wow. Okay, so this is why Javier and I have been connected in this lifetime, because we share so many of the same beliefs, and I have been on that path to find that truth. And working with him, and we can talk about my experience in a little bit, but working with him, everything that you just said, and it's interesting how, you know, over the last couple months of you working with your teacher and going deeper, that you were able to come to some of these realizations. And I think I just want to highlight that I believe, and I titled this Google Hangout, you know, that these plant medicines are what will absolutely transform you and change the world. And I think, here's my belief, and I'd love for you to perhaps go a little bit deeper with this, is right now I feel that we're being called to discover as humanity the truth of who we are. Like, that's what's going to make the change on this planet, is letting go of the delusions, letting go of these belief systems that we've gotten caught in, and really rediscover and remember the truth of who we are, which is what you're talking about, that ultimate truth that we all share. And so the plants help facilitate that, of getting us reconnected with Mother Earth, with that, with harmony, because I believe that that's like the ultimate piece, is how do we get into harmony with what is already there? Like, what is Earth? What is? Like, how do we get into harmony with that so that we can create a sustainable planet? I mean, that's the whole name of the game right now, is that we do not destroy what is, what's all around us, you know? How do we become into harmony with that? So I love so much of what you said, and I'd love to hear from you. Any you know, comments that you have on that, around how plant medicine, because there's a lot of prophecies out there right now of ayahuasca is like the thing that's going to shift humanity, because of the power that it's giving people to see the truth, to see beyond the veil of illusion, to let go of those fears that really don't exist except for in our mind, right? So I'll just give you back the floor.
So first of all, and this is something I tell everybody when I first meet them, say, what I tell you is just my opinion. Mm. And feel free to dismiss it if it doesn't resonate with you. My deep belief is that no plant, no Messiah is going to save us. Mm. We have every bit of information that we need at this time in history in order to move through and beyond it. what I feel is the call is not looking for yet another piece of esoteric information, but to finally have the courage and the strength to embody all this wisdom that we have been submerging ourselves with for the last thousands of years. So the plant medicine process is a very valuable process in that it's about embodiment. We have explored the nature and expression of consciousness, particularly human consciousness, for thousands of years. Indians have masters at deciphering the map of our consciousness. It was a very abstract, oftentimes, process. The spirituality of the East is one of transcendence. So to speak, a male process, with the exception of Tantra, which is still very much an esoteric practice, not a common practice. The spirituality here in Peru is one of both transcendence and immanence. It's a spirituality that does not deny the simple fact that we are in a body, in a physical body, a physical world, and actually sees all this as a blessing and not just as a nuisance toward our spiritual evolution. So there's some of you may be familiar with it, but there's the Peruvian cosmology. Indian cosmology is basically divided in three realms: an underworld, this level of reality, and an upper world, a spiritual realm. And for each of these, there's an animal that is an archetype, that is a cosmic energy. And for the underworld, we have the snake, which is a symbol of all the energies that are just below the earth's crust. And its keywords are healing and wisdom. In this level of reality, the animal is the puma, is the jaguar, because it's the most powerful animal walking on this planet around here. And its keywords are power, strength, and courage. And in the upper realm, the animal is the condor and the eagle. And it's about the spiritual realm and the expanded vision that flying high above enables us to have. And its keywords are divine, light, and love. And it is said around here that wisdom, without the power and the strength and the courage to embody that wisdom on this earthly plane, isn't worth anything. That wisdom becomes full when it is practiced and embodied. And it is also said that power, strength, and courage without divine light and love can become outright dangerous. So the process that the spirituality here invites us to is to actually merge these three aspects of embodying wisdom and having that embodiment always be showered with divine light and love. And I feel that plant medicine is a very valid tool to come to this place, that it makes us fully aware of our physicality.
Javier, did I lose you? Yep. I think we lost him. So let's do that. So thank you so much if you've joined us live. I'm going to have to edit this, and I'm going to record the rest via Skype video, add it to this, and so you can watch the rest of the recording on YouTube. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Okay, so we are back to continue after our technical difficulties. So Javier, you want to continue with what you were sharing? You were talking about the last piece was around the condor and the eagle. Go ahead.
So I was thinking how the model of spirituality here is about integrating all levels of reality, not a matter of just transcending or immanence, but actually connecting all of these levels as one. So this is about embodying wisdom rather than just reading about it or thinking about it. And I was saying how I feel that this process with plant medicine is actually it resonates with this model for spirituality, in that it does force us to connect with our own our own physical bodies, the very earthly experience, connecting with the energies of nature within and without ourselves, and at the same time allows us through this cleansing process to connect with high spiritual energies, and then to blend all of it in one container, which is our own life on this planet at this time. Voila.
Voila. I like to call this the integration, right? It's the integration of masculine, feminine. It's the integration of body, mind, spirit. It's the it's getting that. Yeah, we might want to become spiritual and transcend, but the truth of the matter is, we are human. Like we're these human forms on this planet. And this planet is not just energy, it's matter as well. And that integration of both matter and energy combined, the two exist together,
Yeah.
So I really appreciate everything that you shared there. I love that piece around, the plant medicines help facilitate an awareness and an embodiment, right? So that we can be connected with the earth that is our home here in this lifetime.
Yes. And in that is also, at least in my experience, nature is the greatest teacher and healer. We don't have to go much farther away. But it's very interesting, you know, a year ago I went to visit the ruins of Choquequirao, which are amazing ruins. And I was on the way there. I was connecting with the land and seeing how full of life it was, even though, you know, at first it looked dry and this and that. And once again connect with the energy, the essence of this planet, which is unique. Maybe, you know, probably not the only one, but unique, at least in this corner of the universe, environment. And I was laughing. I was laughing because I was like, it's so ironic and interesting that over the last 5,000 years, we have created belief systems, religions, philosophies that completely dismiss and downplay our experience as physical beings in this planet. That is, you know, renunciation of our bodies to the point of chastising it as being the preferred mode. And I'm like, you know, because I believe that we come here, we decide to come here. I believe we're not that stupid if we decide to take a vacation to Hawaii, we go there in the same way we decide to come to this planet for a very specific reason. And one of the reasons is to experience. So it's to experience this experience. But we spend so much time rejecting it. And go like, no, this is not my home. This is lowly. This is dirty. This is a pain in the butt. And those people who come to me and they say, well, you know, I just want to go home. I'm not from here. I'm like, yes. But you know what? Until you fully experience what you came here to experience, you're not going anywhere. So, you know, maybe this lifetime, maybe in 100 lifetimes, it's up to you. But there is, I mean, the experience for me. I'm very lucky that I'm more and more able to connect and enjoy my experience on this planet. And it's awesome when we finally let go. You know, you were talking about letting go of illusion. When the biggest illusion is that we are separate from everything else. And to wake up from this illusion of separation is, I believe, what we are here to learn. And this life, human life as we created, is an example of the deep, deep belief in separation that we hold in our consciousness. From that belief and experience as separate beings comes all fear. Of course, if I believe myself to be separate, then it's clear that we're only just a speck of dust. And therefore, it is easy for us to feel overwhelmed and scared of our environment. My own experience personally, my own process of letting go of fear has allowed me to just be with and embracing fully this experience and this planet, and it's quite sweet because this planet in its intrinsically feminine essence is about caring for her children and showering them with blessings. You know, we could not exist as we do if we weren't sustained by everything else. We wouldn't even look like this. We would look like amoebas if this planet wasn't as exuberant and generous with its gifts. So yeah. So the work basically, you know, the message for me of both San Pedro and Ayahuasca for us at this time in history is let go. Let go of whatever may have been important, perhaps even necessary for our survival, for our well-being, but no longer really is. And in that letting go, everybody, you know, we all have our own individual journey of letting go of our own wounds, which resonate with the wounds that are held in the collective consciousness. So in that, our own, you know, you were talking about how do we create change. For me, the change comes first and foremost on an individual level. And it is by changing on an individual level that we already affect the collective because we are all connected. And so when we look at the planet as a whole, and I mean a human race on this planet, all we can see in the loudest noise is the conflict that we create on this planet. The wars, the struggle, all that. And for me, all of these wars are very useful because they are just a reflection of the conflicts that are going on 24 hours a day within each one of ourselves. And I always tell people, I say, you know, you want peace in this world? And they go like, yes. Then start at home. Start within yourself. We hold so much conflict within ourselves. We are not our best friends. We are our harshest judges and harshest jail keepers. So this process with these medicines is about letting go of conflict, letting go of this illusion, this belief in separation, and the resulting fear that comes from holding this belief in separation. Because once we let go of that illusion of separation, then we know, we live, or at least I do, knowing that the whole universe is supporting me, is embracing me. And at that point, you know, I may no longer have the luxury of that ego saying, I did it all myself, pat yourself on the shoulder. No, I don't have that illusion anymore because I know that I don't create the water I drink. nor the air I breathe, nor the earth I walk upon. And there are beautiful, powerful cosmic energies, seen and unseen, spiritual energies that are always with me, that are part of me, that are a reflection of me, that encourage me to be the best and most joyous and expanded being that I could possibly be. And so I don't do it all myself, thank God. And it's beautiful to be and to feel that support and encouragement, because I strongly believe that at this time in history, the whole universe is looking at us and seeing what we're going to do with everything that we've got. And we have all of their prayers and light and support. And yet, what we are called to do is to grow up and to finally make use of all these beautiful talents that we carry within, all this love that we are, all this power that we hold inside, and that is just waiting to come out. And nobody can do that for us except ourselves. And yet we have the support of the whole universe and every tool at our disposal more than ever to do it.
Yep. I think it comes down to trust. You know, that trust is, and what I mean by that is we don't trust, and so we doubt, we worry, we live in fear. We don't feel supported by the universe, by the people in our life, and we just live in this place of no trust and not trusting the plan, not trusting the universe. And I think that is the key. That is what has been the shift for me personally. And it's the thing that I was missing. That was like a key piece that I was missing, is I did not trust myself. I didn't trust others. I did not trust God. I did not trust the universe. And I was freaking miserable. And when I am in a place of trust and I'm able to just lean back and get that everything that I need is going to be provided by the universe, that I am fully supported, everything in my life right now is in absolute flow. Everything. And I just trust that everything is happening exactly as it should, and that I have absolutely nothing to worry about. And guess what? Everything is going beautifully. Like, I'm actually, for the first time in my life, actually able to enjoy living.
I found, and I encourage others all the time. I share my experience, and I tell them, I say, for me, the sweetest gift that we can offer to ourselves is the gift of trust. And it's something that it's an active thing of offering ourselves that trust. And it's normal for us to be in fear. And I encourage people, the work with ayahuasca for me is primarily about connecting with those fears that we keep running away from, but that color the way we view ourselves and the world, no matter how well disguised those fears are. And so it's okay. It's okay to be afraid and to face our fears. In order to do that, it's important that we offer ourselves the trust. So when people come here, I say, what's important is that you trust the medicine, no matter how scared it's making you feel, that you trust it to be benevolent, and to trust yourself, your own decision to be engaging with it at this time in this place. And when you offer that trust to yourself and to the medicine and to the universe, then no matter what happens, no matter how challenging and difficult it may turn out to be, you know that you are safe. And this is what I do. This is my job, is to provide a safe container, environment where people can dive into their own pit, and to support them and to let them know that no matter how uncomfortable that experience may be, that they're doing it for all the right reasons, and that it's about finding time to do it. And that no matter what happens, they're okay. Mm. That no matter what happens to us at any moment, it's okay. That we can let go of expectations, we can let go of our own inner agendas, and finally embrace what we are here as spirits to do, instead of just pursuing our ego's agenda. Because our ego's agendas, if one thing the ego is really good at, is to keep us forever dissatisfied with ourselves. The ego will always keep the golden carrot 2 feet away from us, no matter how fast we run. And we can ask everybody, every truly successful person in business, in show business, if they're working, if they're pursuing their careers out of their ego, they're still dissatisfied. I've heard of major actors coming home after receiving their Oscar, and just like Peggy Lee, they would be thinking, is that all there is to an Oscar? And this is because we live our lives through our minds. We let our egos run the show. And, it's a very valid experience. It's a wonderful experience. What it is that we often end up believing that this is all that we are. And as wonderful as the ego and the mind are, they're not all that. There's a whole other show out there waiting for us to join. We were talking earlier on about my decision to learn plant medicine. That was the first truly selfless decision I've taken this lifetime. And a couple of years after taking that decision and pursuing the study of plant medicine and doing ceremonies, I realized that I have been walking my whole life with, what do you call those things for horses?
Like around the jaw?
No, around the eyes, so they can just look in
Oh,
front of us.
blinders.
Blinders. I have walked my whole life with blinders on, just pursuing my ego's desires, goals, with results. And in doing that, I was completely unaware of the magic of life because I was so intent on pursuing my goals. And that actually taking a decision that was completely selfish, that did not put myself in the equation of, what's going to happen to me, how am I going to do it, and this and that. Just do it. Yeah, I just want to work for you and be of service. That allows those blinders to fall off. And I've been receiving from life, and I'm. This is. It's really honest and truthful. I've been receiving from life more than I could have ever imagined possible for me in this lifetime. And this is the journey that I invite people to let go of this tight identification with our mind, with the stories that we've been telling ourselves, with our beliefs, with our viewpoints, with our limiting beliefs, ourselves, about others, about the world, letting go of judgment, letting go of all of this stuff, which is often a challenging process, but always highly rewarding. And, and in that process, in that letting go process, also there is a point where like any spiritual seeker, because this is a path among infinite paths. It's not better or worse. It's just a path, and we walk and we find whatever tools resonate with us at any given moment. This is not a religion. This is not anything. It's a medicine, and it's just a path. But it's a spiritual path that at some point will come to places like, well, if I am not my thoughts, if I'm not the stories that I've been telling myself, then who am I? There comes a place of not knowing. As a matter of fact, as we expand, the more that we know, the less we know that we truly know. And to those people that are, that they come here fully believing that they know who they are, and at some point they're like, I don't know who I am anymore. What's going on? I don't know anything anymore. And I tell them, I say, well, we can criticize Western philosophy as much as we want and with reason, and yet the very first statement of Western philosophy, as pronounced by Socrates, is, I know that I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that is the true beginning of wisdom.
Yeah.
And if we allow ourselves to be in that not knowing. From that not knowing, we can connect with everything.
Yep. That's the access to
You know,
infinite possibilities.
Yeah. So, voila.
Yeah, and that's really when it's just going way beyond the mind, way beyond what you think is possible, just the unstoppability of like it's just expansion beyond our wildest dreams. So if you have been resonating with what Javier has been sharing, and you want to venture down this path, and you are ready to do the clearing work, you're ready to let go of the delusions, and you really know that this is a path for you. You're feeling that resonance in your body right now. I invite you to come join us. We're going to be going down to Peru on September 19th. For a week. We're going to be working with Javier. We're going to be doing a lot of clearing, a lot of discovering and bringing awareness to some of these limited beliefs that have been holding you back. Just unraveling all of those delusions and illusions that we're holding on to, and really going deep into the truth of who you are, coming home to yourself. So if you're interested in joining us, please go to tribal-truth.com/retreats and click on the apply button so that you and I can have a conversation and explore and see if this is a good fit for you. There's no obligation to come down there if you apply, but it can start the conversation. It can start you down this path, and really excited. I'm so excited to see Javier again. It's just, I had a mind-blowing experience in Peru that has opened up so much, including I am now pregnant. And, part of the work that I did in Peru was me really diving into the feminine, the embodiment, what it means for me to be a woman. And I couldn't be more thrilled with all of the delights and surprises that life is now giving me and that I'm now receiving as a result of this work. So thank you so much, Javier, for sharing your wisdom with us and your beliefs. It's always a pleasure to connect with you, and I'm just glad that we got to do this with all of our technical difficulties. And
I would like to just to say one more thing.
Sure, yeah.
So, people make their way here when they're ready, and not a minute earlier. and ultimately, in the equation of getting what we, the very important part is actually being ready to receive what we long for. So one thing to be aware of is that this is about coming home to oneself, and on the fact that there's fear, there's resistance to that coming home to oneself. And that resistance may come up with all sorts of stories that we can tell ourselves. Oh, I don't have time. Maybe next year. I don't have the money. I got to take care of my cat. They may feel very, very valid reasons. And then you can put yourself on that equation and see whom do you really want to be generous to, whether it's your boss at work or yourself. Because this is ultimately a gift that you're offering yourself. And it's, even though it takes effort, courage, time, what have you. This is ultimately a privilege. It is a privilege for us to be drinking not just these medicines, but drink from the wealth of wisdom that of the traditions that hold these medicines, and it's amazing. So voila.
I love that. It's so true. It is a gift. It is a privilege, and it is something that if we want to live a life that is free and joyful, we have to take the leap. And this is that.
Yeah.
This is that time when it's not convenient to go down to Peru, but
It's never a convenient time.
it's gonna take time and it's gonna take money. But I guarantee that it will alter the trajectory of the rest of your life. And it will be one of the greatest gifts that you give yourself. It was one of the greatest gifts I gave myself. And I can make that stamp of guarantee on anyone's experience down there. So if you're feeling the call and you know you're ready, just jump on board. And you can meet Javier in person and give him a big hug, and me too. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Again, go to tribal-truth.com/retreats, and hopefully you'll be joining us in Peru.